At Heartland, the ranch slowly comes to life. Horses quietly grazing and golden light spilling over the fields are all the same. But that sunrise looks different in the trailer for Heartland Season 19, Episode 2. The story we've been following for years has changed, and there's something new in the air. As she watches her daughter Lyndy ride across the field, we see Amy standing by the paddock with the wind on her face. It's a quiet moment, but it says everything. At Heartland Ranch, this is not just another day. Rather, it marks the beginning of a brand new chapter. A chapter that Amy and Lyndy both own. The expansive sunrise view of the Heartland Ranch greets viewers as the trailer opens on familiar ground. Yet something about it feels refreshed. Maybe it's the way the camera lingers on Amy and Lyndy together, or the way the light seems softer, warmer, almost symbolic. Family has always been a big part of Heartland, but legacy is now more important than ever. How one generation passes on its love, strength, and lessons to the next. The series has always relied on Amy Fleming as its emotional anchor. She has remained the ranch's constant rhythm through loss, development, and numerous challenges. However, she appears quieter and more reflective in this trailer. She is seen leading a horse through the corral in the first scene. Her expression is one of thoughtfulness despite her steady hand. It's more than just work, it's also therapy for her and the animal. She is, in a way, rebuilding herself piece by piece, just as she helped others heal in the past. The show seems to be saying, the story continues with the fleeting smile she gives when Lyndy joins her. Lyndy, on the other hand, isn't the little girl we remember. She's growing up curious, brave, and already showing signs of her mother's spirit. The trailer gives us brief, but significant glimpses of her independence, such as her brushing her own pony, attempting to saddle up, and quietly admiring Amy. There's this beautiful, unspoken bond between them, the kind that doesn't need dialogue to make sense. Amy looks at Lyndy with the same pride Marion used to look at her, but she also looks at her with the same fear that every parent has when they see their child starting to find their own way. The tone of the trailer is gentle but emotional. There is neither a rush nor any forced drama. Instead, the pace lets each moment breathe, which serves as a subtle reminder that Heartland has always been about the slow, important parts of life. Everything comes together in the trailer's final few seconds. Amy's eyes are a reflection of both peace and purpose as she looks out toward the horizon. Beside her, Lyndy laughs as her pony trots in a small circle, carefree and full of joy. The music swells softly in the background, mixing nostalgia with hope. This episode almost certainly marks a turning point, not through dramatic twists, but rather through development, quiet courage, and connection. After a long journey, Episode 2 appears to be about rediscovering joy, whereas Episode 1 was about stability. It marks the beginning of something more substantial, one that is based on family ties and the wisdom passed down from mother to daughter. Amy is now guiding the next generation of Heartland, one lesson and one sunrise at a time, rather than just training horses. In this trailer, Amy is surrounded by a different kind of calm, not the calm of someone who knows everything, but the calm of someone who is learning to live again. In Heartland Season 19, Episode 2, Amy isn't just the skilled horse trainer we've known for years. She is a woman at a crossroads, attempting to strike a balance between her past and her future. This is beautifully captured in the trailer. She appears quieter, more grounded, and full of unspoken emotion in every frame. She is still healing, as you can tell. But this time, the healing is about rediscovery rather than loss. Amy is seen alone in the paddock leading a horse with gentle precision when we first see her in the trailer. There is only the sound of wind and footsteps, no dialogue, and no background noise. Everything about her movement is clear, deliberate, patient, and steady. She used to deal with her grief in the same way, not by talking about it, but by working through it. However, this time feels lighter. The horse is young and spirited, indicating a new beginning. They seem to be developing a bond that is more personal than professional, as if this horse is a sign that she is ready to start a new chapter. The following scene is brief but powerful. Amy watches Lyndy from across the yard as her daughter rides. She softens her face, but her eyes show layers of thought. She might be recalling how it was like when she was that young and learned from her mother. Maybe she's realizing that this is the moment her daughter begins her own journey. There's pride there, but also a flicker of fear. Amy's always been brave. However, being a mother requires a different kind of courage, the kind that requires you to let go despite your desire to hold on. The trailer suggests that Amy will have to play both the horse whisperer and the mother in episode 2, both of which require her full heart. She's whispering softly to reassure a nervous horse one moment, encouraging Lyndy to try again after a small mistake the next. And for longtime fans, there's a bittersweet echo of the past. When Amy looks at Lyndy, you can almost hear Ty's voice in the back of your mind, not literally, but through memory. The show doesn't need to show him. His presence lives in her calm, her choices, her love. Episode 2 seems to understand that the best way to honor the past is to keep moving forward. Amy's story isn't about replacing what's gone, it's about carrying it with her as she builds something new. So, in this upcoming episode, Amy isn't trying to prove anything. She's not chasing perfection or fighting battles. She's learning how to breathe again, how to trust, how to laugh, how to be present. Her quiet moments are going to be the loudest part of this story. This is the season where Amy stops surviving and starts living. And that's what makes her journey in episode 2 so powerful, not because it's full of drama, but because it's full of truth.